It is a tradition at this university that the last of the formal speeches is given by one of our newest graduates. Ai whānau kua tata mutu. Hoi anō, the address given on behalf of all graduates is delivered by a student who has stood out in their time at Te Herenga Waka, Victoria University of Wellington, by exemplifying the qualities we seek to instill in our graduates. Today's address will be given by Keiha Nicol, no ngā puhi ngā te whātua o kaipara ngā te tūwhare toa ki Taupo. Keiha has graduated today with a Master of Science majoring in Geology. E te iwi, ho mai te pakipaki mō Keiha. Please welcome Keiha.
E tū ana au ki te mahau o tōku whare. Ka rere te tapu, ka rere te reo, ka rere te aka tauira ki te keokeo ngā o tāwhaki. Hei pōhirihiri, hei kārangaranga ki ngā iwi. Nau mai, whakatau mai ki urunga o te Herenga Waka. Ka hoki aku mahara ki ngā rā o ruka o Pāka. Nā rātou te Māori whakatō i tēnei whare. Arā, nā hirini whakatūwhera i te Whakapūmau. Ka huri au ki ngā pau o nāia nei, ki a koe raunia, koroa koto hoa tū e huna ki mua rā. O ti rā ki ngā kaimahi katoa o te Whakapūmau o te whare wānanga nei. Tēnā koutou. I stand here as a proud graduate of this university. Like many of you, I am joined today by those who have been there for me. Hona whānau, who have come from all corners of Aotearoa and Whā, to the friends that have been there for me, for the good times, the last minute assignments, and the late nighters. Today, we celebrate this milestone and stand proud in our achievement, like the kereru. To the graduates, I say, congratulations. You did it. Now, as we unhitch our waka from this place, I look back on my journey. My journey at the Herenga Waka started long before I was here, when my mum was a tauira at the school, and my sister was at the kohanga where Te Puni village stands now. Growing up, I would hear stories about how my mum would take tihima to Tahirini's classes, and how my dad would come here and help out with the hangi fundraisers based right here at the marae. When I came along, Mum worked down at Pupitea, and I often found myself playing here in the ātea with my friend Tahiwi, as we waited for his mum, the now Dr. Arini Loda, to finish her studies. These are the stories that inspired me to come here and do my masters. That first year starting here saw many challenges. A new move, new friends, COVID lockdown, and self-isolation. But despite all that, I found my communities, as I do, amongst the Māori and the rock nudes. Both of these stories started with small, simple steps. Things like turning up to kapahaka, back when our marae was just a small office tucked underneath the hunter lounge. Or, for the geologist, it meant sticking around after computer sessions in our small office for yarns, especially those yarns that ended up at the hunter lounge. But even though our spaces were small, it was the people within them that made them inviting. And in the end, it was those people that made it feel like home. I am forever grateful for the many social events hosted by these places. From āwhina study sessions to Ngāi Tauira and geologist social games, Purangi Aho, haerenga, and of course, as many of you may know, Te Huinga Tauira. As the Chancellor mentioned, it is these friendships that will last for a lifetime. I always remember the many laughs, the spontaneous waiata, and the desperate trips to the vending machine for a V. I hope they stay stocked. But I'll also remember the brilliance and the perseverance of my mates, and the leaders amongst them with huge hearts. Despite never stepping into a leadership position myself, last year, my dear partner Te Waikamihi took up one of the mantles as tūmaki, giving me the honorary title of First Man. Aside from just being a title, being surrounded by her kaupapa taught me much about how much work goes into being in a student exec outside of studies. And so for this, I thank all of the student execs, past, present, and incoming. Unfortunately for me, because I came here in my 5th year of studies, many tauira will only remember me as koro. Coming into my master's year, I started to embrace this perceived elderly status amongst the tauira. I started to transition to being a researcher. Here, I had to embrace the words of my koro daka and eternally live in what he called the why. That is, always asking questions. Luckily for me, I had 2 very diligent supervisors who made sure I did that. But this space of living in the why taught me much about perseverance, but also the importance of asking the questions and doing the research in our society. In this time of ever-increasing political and environmental uncertainty, it is our ability to ask the right questions and find the right answers for those questions that clears the path for a better tomorrow. From the researchers like Hirunia Moana to our whānau and our parents who gave us the opportunity to be here today, it is those who came before us that paved the path for us in our education today. And so it is only right that we use our education to pave the path for those who come tomorrow. Ka ti reira, tēnā koutou, o ti rā, tēnā hui tātou katoa.
Keiha.